Hello, I'm Jenny Gilbert, a fashion historian and coordinator of the Black Country Studies Centre, a partnership between the University of Wolverhampton and Black Country Living Museum. Welcome to the first Black Country Studies Centre Lockdown Learning. This week is Fashion Revolution Week, an annual global week of action to mark the anniversary of the Rana Plaza garment factory collapse. On the 24th of April 2013, a garment factory in Bangladesh collapsed, killing 1,134 people. This week aims to raise awareness around the ways and conditions in which fashion is produced and over-consumed. It asks us as consumers to call on fashion companies to reveal information about who makes their garments and to improve conditions for garment workers globally, whilst also prompting us to reconsider our own relationships with clothing. To mark this week we'll be taking a quick look at the history of clothing and fashion manufacturing in the Black Country, considering how things have changed and seeing what lessons we can learn from the past. I'll also be posting on the BCSC blog to share some ideas and resources for you to find out more, so make sure to check that out. In the 21st century, our clothing and the materials it is made from are often manufactured thousands of miles away. We don't tend to think about the Black Country as a place where fashion and clothing was made. But not too long ago, during the early to mid-20th century, the Black Country was home to many garment factories, such as Dudley's Town Mills Limited and Clifford Williams, who had sites across the Black Country, including factories in Tipton and Gornal Wood, where menswear, children's wear and some women's wear was manufactured. The making of clothes wasn't only happening in factories. You might be surprised to hear that Gornal Wood was well known for its many seamstresses, sewing in their own homes. In June 1932, the Birmingham Gazette ran an article called "The Black Country Village," where the men run the homes and the women folk find the money. The article describes how women in Gornal Wood worked long and painstaking hours in their homes, stitching together garments that had been cut by tailors elsewhere. Like so often in today's globalised manufacturing and distribution system, wages for these workers were often very low, and the women generally took the work to keep poverty at bay when there was little work for their collier husbands. It wasn't just the garments that were cut and sewn in the region. The raw materials were also made here. The Courtaulds Rayon or Viscose factory in Wolverhampton was one of the largest of its kind in the country. Opened in the mid-1920s, they initially produced viscose yarns before expanding into knitting and dyeing fabrics in the 1930s. At its peak, the factory employed over 1,600 people. Viscose was introduced to the British market in 1905 by Courtaulds and marketed as an accessible alternative to costly silk, hence it often being referred to as artificial or art silk. Mass-produced rayon yarn like that made in Wolverhampton would have made luxuries like stockings affordable to working class women. Whilst naturally derived from wood pulp, the manufacture of rayon in the present day has been linked to mass deforestation, and it can be a chemical-intensive process using carbon disulfide, a toxic chemical linked to health problems in viscose factory workers. These are just a few parts of the clothing and fashion history of the Black Country. Maybe in understanding a little more about the clothing history on our doorsteps, we can begin to think a little differently about the clothes that hang in our wardrobes today, and some of the global problems that they are connected to. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to check out the BCSC blog for more information and resources. Check out the link below. Thank you and look forward to seeing you soon.